Hey guys, this is Joey Gaskin from Totally Based. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today we've got to get into the story about this 12-year-old kid, Jaiden Rodriguez. I honestly have no idea what's going on with the story, so I've pulled up the video. I plan to watch it with you guys, kind of give you my thoughts and ideas on it as we go. But just from what I understand, summary-wise, apparently this kid was kicked out of class because he had a Gadsden flag on his backpack. Which, if you know anything about the Gadsden Flag, it's from the American Revolution. It's not a flag doesn't mean hatred. It doesn't have anything to do with hatred. It's honestly a flag of unity amongst people who were trying to come from under the oppression of the British. So yeah, we'll get into the video and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Mike, thank you. This is new tonight, a local story that's generating national headlines. A Colorado Springs mom says her son was sent home from school because of the patches on his bag, including one depicting the Gadsden flag.
Now, that yellow flag depicting a rattlesnake with the words "Don't tread on me" is seen as a symbol of unity by many, but some people view it as a symbol of hate. We're taking a deep dive look at the issue tonight. Lindsay Jensen begins our coverage.
This all started when Jaiden Rodriguez, a 7th grader here at Vanguard School, was told he had to remove all of his patches on his backpack or not come back to class.
I was like, this is wild that this is happening. Is this America?
Jaiden Rodriguez says her son was kicked out of class for patches on his backpack, specifically the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Why? Check out this video she took talking with a school admin.
The reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade.
They didn't want racism on school campus, and I told them that that was very subjective.
That video is gaining momentum on X, formerly Twitter, with more than 5.5 million views.
I do want him to stand up for his rights too, and I don't want to say like, no, you know, bow down to the government. Like, just, it's been tough. It's been a tough call to just let him do what he wants and say he's at that age to make his own decisions.
Vanguard Charter School is part of Harrison School District 2. In a statement, the district said in part, quote, "The patch in question was part of a half a dozen other patches of semi-automatic weapons. The student has removed the semi-automatic patches." The school says it allowed Jaiden to return to class and keep his "Don't Tread on Me" flag patch on his backpack. But Eden says she picked him up from school today with all of his patches. And I met up with them at a grocery store to verify that. So you got all the patches still on there? Yes. No plans to take any off. A lawyer tells me, as a public charter school, requiring him to remove any patches is a violation of his First Amendment rights.
Students do not leave their First Amendment rights at the schoolhouse door. That's what the U.S. Supreme Court has said. And so that's the test that must be met. It has to be a significant disruption to the educational mission of the school in order for the school to regulate the student's speech. And I'm deeply skeptical that that's true here.
Colorado Governor Jared Polis weighed in on this.
You know, I think it's great when students express themselves in different ways, as long as they're not creating a disruptive environment. Certainly the Gadsden flag is a great iconic American flag. Other kids have LGBT flags on their backpacks. Others have flags of major political parties.
Eden says she's proud of her son, standing up for himself. Rodriguez says Jaiden missed about 3 days of school over this. She says this is not over and has been in contact with an attorney. In Colorado Springs, I'm Lindsay Jensen for News 5.
Man, goodness, guys. Like, the first thing that I think about is, like, does anybody remember June? Does anybody remember the month of June? Okay? Like, I'm sure these classrooms around the country were, you know, they were educating kids about a specific flag, okay? And there was no problem with that flag. There's no issue there, you know? But this kid, he puts a flag on his backpack that is not a symbol of hatred. It's actually a symbol of unity. And he wears it to school, and teachers want to take issues with it. It's not like the kids probably don't even know what that flag is. They probably don't, you know? It's the teachers who are taking issues with the flags. So, or with his patches. So I just think this whole thing is kind of ridiculous. It's overblown, honestly. And honestly, I love that his mom she's kind of like let him be him. She's like, I basically let him just do his own thing, and even at the end of the video, she's saying, it's not over. So it sounds like they may take some legal action, as they should. I think this whole thing is just pretty sad. We live in America, and we can't even, have free discourse, and talk about things from history. That's something that's a part of our history. It's from the American Revolution, and we can't even talk about that flag because people want to say, oh, that means it's talking about racism or it's got bad origins. Did you forget that slaves fought in the Revolutionary War? Did you forget that? So I think that I think the whole thing's pretty silly. The whole thing's really silly. The other thing I don't want to point out too is this kid is so based. I love it. Did you see him in the video? He says, his mom's like, do you have all your patches on there? He's like, yeah, I've got them all in there and I'm not taking them off either. He's based. And that is exactly what this channel's about. Just being based, like having a precept that you were just latched onto and a place of understanding, a place of a root, an anchor. And this kid, he understands who he is. He understands his rights, obviously. And I think it's pretty cool that the governor highlighted that, He has rights just like anybody else. Freedom of speech. He apparently understands, two-way, and I saw some other patches on there. He had some like, I think St. Michael, so maybe Catholic, I imagine. He had some other patches on there too. So again, it's ridiculous that we're having these types of conversations. But I will say, I think it's a good thing that this was on the news because it's egg on the face, I think, and it also educates people about, our history because apparently they didn't really even know what that flag meant. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna kick this back to you guys. What do you think? I think the mom handled this great. I think this kid is so based and he's awesome. But you guys comment down in the bottom. Let me know. What do you think about Jaiden? I think Jaiden is I think it was a J-Rod for VP. I don't know if he's running for something, but if he was running for something, I'd vote for him. So kudos to you, J-Rod. Yeah. You guys are watching Totally Based. If you like more stuff like this, like, share, subscribe.